Sophist equality versus Spartan supremacy. Sophists believed everyone was equal. Plato thought this was madness. Sophists believed in equality. Antiphon the Sophist demolished aristocracy by declaring that our equality is by nature. By nature, we all breathe the air, laugh and weep. None of us can be distinguished between barbarians and Greeks, he said. According to the Sophists, nomos, law and custom, not nature, creates hierarchy. Nomos is artificial and is based on opinion, while the law of nature, physis, is truth. For example, Antiphon recommends that we should go ahead and follow the dictates of nature when we're by ourselves, and then follow nomos when we are around witnesses. Because the law of nature is free, and nomos only puts chains on nature. Pericles addressed the hierarchical nature of nomos by declaring that Athenians are equal under the law. Pericles also remarks that the Athenians in their private business are not suspicious of one another and do not get angry with their neighbors if they do what they like. Herodotus from Halicarnassus is often considered the first historian, and he was definitely influenced by the Sophists. He did not look at history as a chronological recording of events, but he took into different perspectives to make his history. For example, in the causes of the Persian-Greek War, he gives both the Phoenician perspective, and then he goes ahead and gives the Greek perspective and the Persian perspective of who started the war. And he does not pronounce judgment on which one is correct. He also talks about the precarious nature of prosperity, saying that it does not stay in one place very long. For once great cities are now small, and once small cities are now great. According to Herodotus, Darius once summoned the Greeks, who found eating their dead abhorrent, and the Calatians, an Indian tribe, who found that burning their dead was abhorrent. To demonstrate the power of custom, nomos, he asked each group if they would adopt the other's burial practices for any amount of money. Both refused, showing that cultural norms dictate moral perceptions. Herodotus concluded with the line, often paraphrased, "Custom is king of all," highlighting cultural relativism. Plato wrote the Republic to refute the Athenian democracy on the behests of the oligarchs. It's a Eugenics and evolutionary manifesto. In the dialogue, Socrates asked Xenophon to breed humans like hunting dogs, only from the best. He advocates state-controlled mating. Only the best men should father and have the most sons as possible. In his book, The Republic, privacy is intentionally abolished, eradicates selfishness, and enforce absolute unity. The fear of private interest, property, family, opinions create tension and discord in the state was not allowed. Xenophon, Plato's friend and Socrates' pupil, just like Plato, was more blunter about democracy. He said that the poor people and the popular and the base rule in a democracy, and goes on further to exclaim that they set up, the Athenians, equality between slaves and free men, and complained that during the golden age of Athens, any wretch who wanted to can stand up and obtain what is good for him and the likes of himself, for the people do not want a good government under which they would become slaves. They wanted to be free and rule themselves. This is why the Athenians disenfranchise the aristocrats, take away their money, exile them from Athens, and even kill them. Whereas their democracy promotes the interest of the lower class. This might be a little bit of hyperbolic by the old oligarch Xenophon, but Xenophon shows that the Athenian political paradigm shift was causing a reactionary movement by the oligarchs to try to destroy the Athenian democracy, direct democracy, something that has never been instituted since. The Sophists believe people are inherently equal by nature because each person has their own particular perspective based on their beliefs and values, which are in turn based on their particular experiences. This creates skepticism among the Athenians, which gives them the freedom to experiment, to be curious, and to make inquiries. Unfortunately, this skepticism allowed people like Socrates to take advantage of this liberal environment. He said that his demon made him question the Athenian democracy, and this allowed him to destroy it by the use of its own skepticism. So let me go ahead and recap the differences in their philosophy between the Sophists and Plato and his oligarchs. For the Sophists and the Athenians, truth was plural. There's many different truths depending on your perspective, while to Plato and his oligarchs, truth was absolute, their truth. To the Sophists, nomos equaled tyranny, while to the oligarchs and Plato, their nomos was the divine order. To the Sophists, equality was made by nature. To the Sophists, everyone was equal because of nature. But to the Plato and his oligarchs, eugenics by decree determined who you would mate with. The most fundamental agency of human existence would be controlled by the state and these powerful philosopher kings. Please like, comment, and challenge me and ask me about my sources or any other questions you might have. Thank you for listening.